A new character is set to ruffle feathers in Emmerdale, with actress Jay Griffiths joining the soap lineup as the mysterious Celia. Moira Dingle gets competition when Celia arrives in the ITV village. But in upcoming Emmerdale scenes, Paddy Kirk, Dominic Brunt, suffers when he attempts a rescue operation on the newcomer's farm. Over on Coronation Street, Abby Webster, Sally Carman, struggles to ignore her blossoming feelings for brother-in-law Carl. And she resorts to desperate measures in a bid to keep how she feels under wraps. In EastEnders, Vicky, Alice Haig, and Ross, Alex Walkinshaw, receive bombshell news from Sharon Watts, leaving Vicky to hatch a plan, but she ends up making a huge discovery instead. Here's everything you need to know. Paddy spots a sheep caught in a fence on Celia's farm and intervenes. But once he frees the sheep, Paddy freezes in terror as an aggressive dog approaches. The dog attacks Paddy and it's clear he's badly injured. At the hospital, Mandy, Lisa Riley, and Bear, Joshua Richards, wait for Paddy to emerge from surgery, but tensions reach a boiling point when Bear lashes out. Despondent, Paddy takes the words to heart, and a visit from Marlon, Mark Carnock, fails to lift his spirits. Paddy then confronts Celia, but the encounter goes awry and he's had enough of the way Bear treats him. Ross, Mike Parr, agrees to convince Lewis, Bradley Riches, to sell his weed to a dealer, and Mac, Lawrence Robb, reminds him they're doing it all for Moira's farm. Lewis is grateful when Ross follows his lead, but both are unaware that Mac has double-crossed them. Lewis is devastated by the betrayal and his relationship with Ross is completely fractured. But the next day, Lewis' weed is gone and Ross thinks he knows the culprit. Sarah, Katie Hill, helps Kane, Jeff Audley, see that Tracy, Amy Walsh, barring the family from Nate's funeral, gives the Dingles a chance to provide him with their own send-off. Meanwhile, Gabby's, Rosie Bentham, finalizing the guest list for their engagement shindig, but Vinnie, Bradley Johnson, is nervous when he learns Cam is getting an invite. Millie is keeping a huge secret about her pregnancy. Will she tell her dad Theo the truth? Coronation Street. Millie, Caitlin Early, panics when Theo, James Cartwright, reveals that he's off to see her teacher about her pregnancy. Todd, Gareth Pierce, tells Millie it's obvious she's lying. Todd tells Millie to take a pregnancy test to prove the first one was a false positive. Meanwhile, Abby engineers a way to get rid of Carl, Jonathan Howard, when Kevin, Michael Lavelle, spots a message from him on her phone stating he'd like to get to know her better. Carl secretly mocks up another fake Mo certificate, but Abby warns him to stay away from her. Kevin arrives for work and Abby shows him a car Carl's been working on, pointing out his sloppy workmanship. But when Kevin watches the CCTV, he makes a shocking discovery. Later, Kevin gets his results while Abby is fighting an internal battle. Dee Dee, Chanique Sterling Brown, tells James Callender, she's glad to have the support of her church, but James makes it clear Layla's upbringing will be non-religious. She retaliates by meeting up with Billy, Daniel Brocklebank, and tells him she'd like to baptize Layla. Billy makes it clear that she'll need James's permission beforehand. Later, when Dee Dee asks Alia, Sir Khan, to be Layla's godmother, Alia realizes how far she's willing to go. Elsewhere, Cassie, Claire Sweeney, Steve, Simon Gregson, Sally Deniver, and Tim, Joe Duttine, meet for lunch. Sally makes barbed remarks at Cassie while Tim tries to keep the peace. EastEnders. Tension builds up as Linda, Kelly Bright, tells Elaine, Harriet Thorpe, she wants to sell her half of the pub. Elaine tries to persuade Linda to rethink her decision, but a row soon breaks out. Linda retreats to the cafe to speak with George, Colin Salmon, who encourages Linda to see the situation from Elaine's point of view, but Elaine spies on their interaction from the boozer and is convinced they're plotting behind her back. Elaine's then deflated when her meeting with the bank doesn't go as planned and ropes in Johnny into a shady scheme. After an emotional day, Elaine loses it and gets into another furious row with Linda. The events take their toll and Elaine collapses. Vicky and Ross' happiness is short-lived when Zach, James Farrar, announces Sharon is evicting them from No. 43 for failing to pay their debt. Vicky attempts to get an advance from Bernie, Claire Norris, but gets fired instead. In retaliation, Vicky steals Bernie's laptop and even blackmails her when it's revealed that Bernie has been stealing money from the Pon SR business accounts. Stacy, Lacey Turner, arrives home with Hope and Arthur, much to Jean, Gillian Wright, and Mo's, Layla Morse, delight. The family brings her up to speed with recent events, but it's clear Stacy is hiding something. Elsewhere, Joel, Max Murray, continues to have a negative influence on Tommy, Sonny Kendall. Frankie wants to move on with her life, but a discovery about D.I. Banks' death may turn her plans upside down. Hollyoaks. Bobby is missing while Myra tries to make peace with Mercedes after a huge faux pas. But what has she done? Lucas opens a message on Dylan's phone and discovers his STI results are clear. But Dylan later shrugs him off when he tries to get intimate. The dog is ready for reopening, but when Tony finds a takeaway cup, he realizes who has been hiding out in the pub. Later, the teens made a groundbreaking discovery about D.I. Banks' death while Claire hatches a new plan. Aaron's love triangle is going awry and a conversation with Nicolette pushes him to the brink. Neighbors. Aaron tries to poke holes in Nicolette's theory that Rhett and Colton have hooked up, but he later gets a bombshell and goes into damage control. Jane is forced to confront another family tragedy when Byron is assaulted, and Cara investigates. Holly feels let down by Izzy and Max as she shares an emotional moment with Andrew. Torn by work and family, Wendy is also rattled by new student Saskia and reaches out to her. But the newcomer soon targets Sadie, determined to eliminate her. Home and away. Newly engaged Cash and Eden arrive home to a congratulations sign and cold champagne in the fridge. But Tane and Harper are concerned over Dana's radio silence. Soon enough, chaos unfolds as Gage's trial starts and hopes of seeing him behind bars slowly fade. Eden is then on a warpath when she receives an unexpected text. Elsewhere, Theo is running out of time. Abigail returns home and Marley is surprised to see her. Can he convince her to stay?